Hi. Welcome to the
Hi. I was doing it
Poundcast.
five. I was doing five,
You're
four,
gonna go
but you know what?
five,
That
but
works too. Hi.
it's like this. Hi. Welcome to the Poundcast. Today's episode is brought to you by LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. If you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, our listeners, our Poundcast puppies, get 20% off of your entire order. That's right. Go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and just use the code word Poundcast. You can get, look at this. I'm on the site right now. You can get this variety pack. You can check it out. You don't have to go to a store. You could just order them, 20% off, easy.
Don't make me
They
hungry.
got. Let me go through the flavors here, Brent.
Don't make me hungry.
Don't make me hungry
Okay, for the
again.
sake of it, for the sake of Louisville Vegan Foods, go ahead, make me hungry.
That's a good show idea. Make me hungry. That's the easiest thing to do, is to make someone hungry. People want to eat all the time.
That actually sounds kind of fun, but imagine if somebody's full and you have to try to make them hungry.
Make them, get them real full and be like, all right, listen to this. Smoked black pepper. Think about that. Just how good that would taste. Louisville vegan jerky smoked black pepper. How about Brent? That doesn't work. Buffalo dill.
Oh no, don't tell me this. I just ate. I can't eat again.
Yes, you can. Smoky Carolina barbecue. Here, have a bite.
Oh man.
Maple bacon. Oh, okay, Brent. We got a new flavor, small batch. They do small batches sometimes, and they have a new one out now. It's called Kansas City Barbecue.
Can I get one?
And that's a super small batch. Yeah, just go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast. Add it to your cart. I think I'm going to order this. And they got the sesame gochujang.
But hold on a second. Is it handbagged in the United States of America?
Yes, you know how they do
Good.
it.
I only get that. And then does it have a shelf life of 9 months? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, they also have these beanies now. They got some merch now. Cool.
Well,
You
anyway,
can even get a gift card. My
Louisville,
birthday's coming up. Give me a gift card. Send it.
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com.
So thank you to our sponsor. And that's a great way to support us, is to just support our sponsor. And another great way to support us is to sign up for our Patreon, which is patreon.com/poundcast. And when you do that, you get a bonus. You get bonus material every week, every episode we keep it rolling. We go after dark. And that's only available for our Patreon subscribers. And it's a no-brainer because it's so cheap.
And you get video of the After Dark as well.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now, youtube.com/thepoundcast. And then, you get the main episode for that for free, of course. Look, if you can't afford it, just enjoy what you got.
Yeah.
And another thing another Patreon perk is you get access to the stems of the theme song, which I played once or twice, but every week we get these remixes and they're pretty cool. And
they're pretty cool. They're really cool.
They're really good. They're better than my original.
That's for damn sure.
For damn sure. Now, who do we got this week, Brent?
Parker Rice has a remix for us, and that's what we're going to be hearing for this week. Parker Rice. Parker Rice Can't Lose.
All right. So we're going to listen to Parker Rice's remix, and then Brent and we're just going to hang out one-on-one. It's a classic one-on-one. We talk about new Muppet characters. I'll tell you that.
New Muppet characters. We talk about, I don't know, show business a little bit, and
showbiz stuff.
And we talk about what was the one thing we talked that was a highlight? I can't remember.
Swole bird.
Don't even.
You'll find out. You'll find out. There's a little teaser. All right, let's roll the clip, and then we'll get into the show with Doug and Brent. Doug and
Brent are talking to some pinballs.
Doug and
Brent will talk to their
friends. Doug and
Brent are talking to some pinballs.
Doug
and Brent will talk to their
friends.
Brent.
Welcome to the Poundcast. This is DJ Doug Pound, your one half of the Poundcast.
My name is Brent Weinbach, the other half.
That's right. And today it's just us. I guess we're just going to do our one-on-one today.
Just the two of us, This is how we do it these days, We're doing a little more of this.
We have a what's this thing called? The Discord. I said you're going to be here. Got any questions? And some questions came in. We can get to those.
Okay, hold on. So we got questions.
We'll get to those later. I'm just saying.
There's a lot. I got stuff I want to show you visually, that we'll hopefully we'll make it worthwhile for audio listeners, but we got some visual stuff I want to share with you. And then also there's one thing I just want to briefly touch on that we did talk about last week as well, but just kind of something interesting,
Is this an after dark conversation or is this the main show?
Since it doesn't concern you so much, I kind of think, why not? Well, it does concern you a little bit, but I don't care about doing it on a non-after dark,
I don't care. Let it rip. What do you got to get off your chest, Brent? Get it off your chest.
Well, should we do all our introduction stuff or just go right into things right now?
Aren't we going to do that?
Yeah, let's do it at the end. Yeah, so that we know what we talked about. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it at the end.
Okay.
So
do we have to start the show over again now?
No. You know what? People are getting a peek into how it works,
Okay, yeah, this is how it works.
So look, let's talk about this. I just think it's kind of funny how... So a couple weeks ago, Saturday Night Live, there was a... Stop me if you want to save this for later. But there was an interesting similarity, and, it probably was the case that whoever wrote this sketch on Saturday Night Live might have seen your video and forgot they saw it and wrote something very similar. Okay.
Well, for those who don't know, my video was called Grocery Rap. And then I did the Grocery Rap remix where I rapped about groceries in a Beastie Boys style. And the SNL sketch was called Grocery Rap, in which they rapped about groceries in a Beastie Boys style. But it was, they were making fun of Karens, or as we like to call them, Kanye's, who don't want to wear a mask and things like that. So it was more about, it wasn't, whatever. We've already talked about it.
We talked about it, and
I don't think they're ripping me off. I think it's just, it's a crazy coincidence,
or certainly not. You're saying we don't think that they're ripping anybody off intentionally, at least. Maybe it was an accidental. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean.
But anyway, moving on to
we've all had. I've probably done jokes that other people have thought up before, and that's how it works.
Right. Just the timing is a little interesting because Doug's video came out, a couple months ago, and then that video came out.
Okay, moving on. Then what do you got? What do you got to talk about?
A week later, I start getting sent by a bunch of people the Saturday Night Live sketch that came out the following week, and everyone keeps sending me this sketch. Oh, check out this sketch, and indeed, there is a lot of similarity between the sketch and one of my bits. Now, my bit, okay, and I'll be specific about it. There's a sketch on Saturday Night Live about these guys are having a bachelor party, and these strippers come to the bachelor party, and they go into this whole song about how they're going to get boners together, and I like getting boners with my friends and stuff. And they say the word boner a bunch of times, and it's basically about getting boners with your friends when there's a stripper around. And, I have a bit that I've been doing it for a long time that is basically the same joke. And now the thing about this is I don't think that observation about getting a boner with your friends at a strip club is super unique of an observation. I mean, it's not that I think a lot of people can make that observation. I don't think it's that original. And it's certainly not as specific as doing a Beastie Boy style rap about, groceries. But there's some of the wording though does seem oddly similar. Just the way that they describe getting a boner, sitting next to somebody or your friend getting a boner, and then at one point, this was the most sort of specific thing. At one point in the Saturday Night Live sketch, they mention the guy mentions his dad or something like that, or refers to his dad. The same thing. His dad had the same thing, getting boners and stuff. And I mentioned someone's father in the bit as well. At one point, I say, tell me about your father as part of the bit, because it's directed at somebody in the audience. And then I say, and then what is your father's relationship? What's your relationship like with your father? How's your relationship with your father affected your relationship with boners, or something like that? Anyway, that was kind of oddly similar, but timing wise, that bit has been out for, many years, and it's not like that. So anyway, it just was kind of a funny coincidence that there was a similarity a week later to something I do. And I'm saying this too, benefit of the doubt, even if I don't think anyone's intentionally stealing anything, but who knows, maybe there was an accidental absorption or something like that, and it came out in that sketch for me. But it's funny that maybe there is somebody possibly at Saturday Night Live who listens, who likes, as a fan of our stuff, and this stuff is sort of coming out on accident.
Well, Brent, you can't you gotta think it's pretty cool that our bits are good enough to be on Saturday Night Live, a show we've all grown up with, and
in a sense, we're writing
jokes that we've thought of are also thought of by SNL writers, and it's kind of cool. So I'm pleased. What is it called? I'm honored. I am,
honored, flattered.
I'm flattered. Yeah, I'm flattered. And that's the bottom line. I don't care. Whatever. Who cares?
Do you think we should start using the credit?
That means, yeah, we should. You could put it in our
from
SNL. Coming up next, you've seen his jokes on SNL.
You've seen his work on SNL.
You've seen his work on SNL. Yeah.
But then I had this thought, and again, I just want to reiterate, it's most likely the case that, well, one, at least from my joke, just parallel thinking, but if not that, just accidentally this is happening, but I thought it would be funny is if now we make a specific point to try to find similarities between our work and Saturday Night Live every week, and try to find.
So those were back-to-back weeks, right?
Because those were back-to-back weeks,
Yeah. So this upcoming Saturday is exciting because let's see what they're gonna absorb this week.
Yeah. And so I guess we're saying.
So okay, next week, stay tuned next week, because we're gonna. Yeah, we'll observe the show. We watch it every week, of course, and we're gonna check it out.
That's the
thing. We're gonna see what they came up with this week.
I don't watch this show. I don't really watch the clips, but people send me this stuff. I wanted to say, put it out there for anybody listening. Feel free, if you watch Saturday Night Live, to try to purposely find some connections, even if they're vague, just for fun, as a
for
joke.
Fun. Even if they're like so vague, we'll find something. Maybe there's a word they say that's the same word.
Or maybe there's a character who's blonde, there's this, someone that has a blonde wig on. Oh, that's like Doug.
Oh my God. They saw Doug, and he's got blonde hair too.
They saw Doug.
They saw him once. Yeah. We start going like psycho about it. We're like gang stalkers, like gang stalking, where people think they film their neighbors in their streets, and they think every car going by is like orchestrated, and they're a targeted individual. We start to think that we're targeted individuals, and start going loco.
Let's go.
That's another good idea for a movie. It's like some comedian down and out like us, some down and out comedian like us. We see a bit on a major, hugely popular show, and then they start to make connections everywhere. Everyone's ripping them off, and then they go
But
local.
they go loco, but then as it turns out that they did actually rip him off to some degree.
They were right.
But I mean, it was a partially he went loco, but partially they did actually rip him off to some degree.
Yeah. And then you know what? They have a big showdown at the end, and everyone learns to live together, and the guy gets a job. They're like, wait, you're local? You're hired.
Right.
They're like, we want crazy ass people working at this show. We want they're like, do you smoke crack? I'm not saying this is anything like SNL. I'm saying in this movie,
Right.
it's like the John Belushi era. They're like, you got to be like you got to be a wild man. Then you're on the show,
Can you hear this?
What is going on? Is somebody exercising?
I have no idea, but it's
all right. If we talk, it's
okay.
away.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was.
We just gotta keep talking.
I wasn't sure if that was distracting or not, but
That's
anyway.
No big deal. On podcasts, people are always doing, I'm so sorry. It's like when you're in the world talking to someone, there's a leaf blower going, there's a car driving by, it's like, who cares? People are like over apologizing for sounds all the time.
I'm not apologizing. I'm
not saying you are apologizing, but like, I feel like I listen to a lot of podcasts and they like bring attention to it unnecessarily, where it's like, we can still hear you.
I was just
the world is filled with sounds. Let's go.
Speaking of loco, you know what I mean? That's what it kind of was sounding like just now.
I heard of something funny the other day. This is just changing the subject completely.
Okay.
But the Cookie Monster this happened years ago. The Cookie Monster is now the vegetable monster.
Oh my gosh, really?
Let me see.
That's funny.
Let me see here. I think maybe it just happened on one episode.
Oh, okay. Just one episode.
Okay. This is just a really quick scan of the internet.
Let me get, and I'm going to look up my links that I'm going to share with you.
Okay. But look, this made me think of other stuff, because how like I just heard Dr. Seuss some of his books are problematic or something. And, so they're like, no more certain books are being discontinued, even by the Dr. Seuss Foundation. There's maybe stereotypes of racial stuff or something.
Oh, is that right?
So like, okay, say like Sesame Street gets all like PC or woke or something, right? Like cookies are bad. I thought, what if they did that to every character? So Kermit the Frog can, well, I don't know what that would be. That would just be like Kermit the Amphibian or something. You don't want to be too, okay, the Oscar the Grouch.
Well, he's in a recycle bin now instead.
Right. Well, let me get to my.
Oh, sorry.
It would be like Oscar the Friendly Recycler. Instead of like he's a grouch and he's in a garbage can, he's like Oscar the. We can work on these together, I guess. But
Oscar the guy.
Oscar the friendly recycler. I don't know.
Oscar the friendly ghost.
Oscar the recycler. And then you got Big Bird, right? That's maybe maybe you can't say someone's big.
Maybe you have to say thick.
Thick bird. How about this, Brent? Swole bird.
Swole bird.
Swole bird.
Swole bird. Swole bird. Thick
now,
bird.
There's another guy called Gonzo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that insinuates that he's crazy. Maybe you got to call him like, and his nose is all curled down. What if he's just called Reasonable and his nose curls up or something? Reasonable.
Well, hold on. What does Gonzo
logic?
mean exactly?
Is it Gonzo is now
Gonzo
called logical.
reporting is just sort of this
He's
kind
called
of
logical.
Gonzo.
It's not about Gonzo
bizarre.
reporting. It's about the term Gonzo. That just means like
Bizarre, crazy, yeah.
yeah. Gonzo Muppet. Let me look at Gonzo Muppet.
Reasonable.
Gonzo was one of my favorite Muppets too.
What did you like about him?
He just looks cool because he's called Gonzo, all right?
Mhm.
And it's like he's Gonzo, you know?
So
And,
that nose of his, though, what if it just goes straight?
yeah, he's just
It
straight.
doesn't go upwards even, it just goes straight.
Just like a weird, long, straight nose. What's he called though?
Yeah, reasonable
Reasonable. Okay.
or logical or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Miss Piggy,
Piggy.
Piggy just sounds wrong. You can't be calling someone Piggy. You
How
can call
about
her
Miss
wait, you can call her
Miss Pretty?
Miss Pretty. Okay. Or plus sized swine.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Plus
Plus
size.
size swine.
Now Fozzie Bear, he can probably stay. He's pretty can't really it's hard to find something wrong there.
Well, maybe the bear kind of sounds like it's insinuating that he's big and hairy, and maybe I know some people like to be called bears, but maybe some people don't like to be called big and hairy or something. So maybe he's, hairless, and he's smooth. He's
Shaved bear.
skinny and smooth, or he's normal size. I mean, or he's normal size. He's fit and smooth. He's fit and smooth. Fit and
Fozzie
smooth.
fit. Fozzie fit.
Fozzie fit.
He's like all swole.
Well, I wonder if Fozzie is a reference to him being fuzzy, or furry. So maybe he's not even Fozzie, but he's just sort of he's a joker. So maybe he's funny and fit. He's funny fit.
Wait, Fozzie.
Or Fawny fit.
I think they just made up Fozzie. I think they made that word up.
I think Fozzie was probably derived from fuzzy and funny.
And you know what? Swedish Chef, as someone of Swedish descent, I am offended. That if you think about it, Brent, that accent that they give him, if you were offended by like somebody making fun of, someone's accent, it's kind of offensive. I mean, I'm actually not. I'm being ridiculous, but if someone was called Chinese chef and they had like a stereotypical Chinese accent, how canceled would that be? But you could do you could do like a Chinese, you could do a Swedish accent.
You're allowed to do
You're allowed
to do any European style.
You're allowed to
do any European style voice.
I'm just coming up with thought experiments here, folks. It's just a joke.
I know, let's not get too controversial here, but
I know, but if you think about it,
it sort of is not equal in a way,
Now Beaker, he's a nerd. Look at him. He's like,
So we should call
he
him
should just be called scientist.
And maybe make him more athletic.
They're all like athletic.
He's fit,
The Swedish Chef doesn't have eyes. He's like his eyes are just brows, Give him eyes.
By the way,
and Gonzo's eyes are a little bugged out. He can be his lids are he looks kind of stoned or something. His lids can be lifted a little.
By the way, it's kind of speaking of Saturday Night Live, there's a sketch or two maybe where Dana Carvey plays a Chinese man in it, and it's kind of hardcore. There's another sketch where
well, I mean that's an old sketch, right?
Yeah. It's an old sketch.
I mean, look, yeah, I know.
There is another sketch,
but like this stuff is like if you're gonna dig up, I think we've established that digging up old things and then holding people accountable for like jokes that were made years ago, like it's stupid.
Well, I don't, but
neither of us do that. I've seen old bits of mine where I'm like, yikes.
I don't I old bit I don't I actually don't think I mean there's nothing
I
that
mean, look, I don't think
I
yikes.
stand by I stand by
More.
whatever.
I think more like, somebody could be upset by this or something. Now we got some other characters. There's a lot of Muppet characters here, Brent. Sam Eagle. Some of these are fine. Scooter. Do you know Scooter?
Someone thought I look like the eagle. Is that true? You think that?
Well, you get the eyes a little. I mean, he's just got kind of thick, dark eyebrows. You kind of
Right.
have that a little bit, but do you know who Walter is?
No, I never heard of him.
Do you know who Floyd Pepper is? He's that like guy in the band. He's like groovy. He's got the
Oh yeah, the
guitar
groovy
player in the
thing.
band.
Well,
Who's that?
the girl?
Who's the girl in the band?
Yeah, she's some sort of hippie type girl.
She's cool. I gotta Google that real quick. Girl in the Muppet Band.
Okay, Animal. We haven't talked about Animal.
Yeah, Animal is fine almost. Janice is the gal
Well, maybe
in the band. That's Janice.
maybe that's Janice, right? Maybe
And
that's
she's fine.
too-
And you know what? The band is called Electric Mayhem. It's kind of cool.
Maybe Animal insinuates that he's too wild or something like that, or he's kind of crazy in a way, similar to the Gonzo one. And so maybe instead of Animal, or maybe he's barbaric or something like that.
Mhm.
So maybe his name should be changed to Civil.
Civil. What if they did that? They tamed all the Muppets so they had no edge and they were just completely lame, and they're all kind of just medium, not
Yeah, they just take
offending
the
anyone.
personality out of everything.
Take
you
their
know?
personality out
In
and
an
just
attempt to be politically correct, they basically turn everybody into vegetables. What if the media became so politically correct that every character in every movie was just a vegetable? Just sitting there with no emotions, no
well, somebody would
personalities at all.
find something to be upset about. Why aren't there more orange vegetables? There's only a carrot. There's
No, okay. Imagine this. I'm talking even humans now, okay? So shows that depict human beings, all you would see is just catatonic
youths.
youths. No, just catatonic people just sitting there, just hello, my name is Brent. Hello, my name is Brent. How are you doing today? How are you doing today, dog?
I'm living flying. That's what we're getting towards. Just Data. Data from Star Trek.
Right. But even
Well,
Data
that's
had
not
more
like
personality.
that. Data he's kind of like. Did anyone ever say that Zuckerberg is like Data? He's kind of like Data.
Wait,
There's gotta be-
Zuckerberg, or do you mean Jesse Eisenberg?
I'm talking Zuck.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at Sesame Street here. The Count, is that somehow racist?
Well, he's sort of being somebody from Romania, sort of. I mean, that's
Yeah,
somewhat-
that's really stereotyping people from.
but that's European though, so you're allowed to sort of do that, I guess.
Yeah.
But let's just say you're not. Let's say it's even more hardcore, right?
Yeah.
You just make him not a Dracula character anymore. He's just a counting numbers kind of person who's from the United States. But then people might think, oh, that's kind of, you're making fun of somebody who counts a lot. You're making fun of somebody who has OCD or is maybe autistic or something, And so then you kind of have to make him not count anymore. So basically he becomes a robot just like everybody else.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His cape is gone. The fangs are gone. He's not purple anymore. He's just a beige, middle.
He's sort of a light brown, just sort
Yeah.
of every nationality.
His
in one.
eyebrows aren't all, doing that evil kind of angle. They're kind of they're more like out here.
He doesn't count anymore.
He doesn't count. Numbers don't.
He doesn't count.
All numbers matter.
So
All right. Well, look, I just wanted to get to my
I like it.
mainly the Oscar bit and then the Gonzo. I like Gonzo.
I
The
like
Gonzo.
Thick Bird. I think Thick Bird is
Oh, Thick
good.
Bird is the biggest one there.
Thick Bird. Swole Bird.
Swole Bird.
Swole Bird. That's good.
There's all kinds of characters I didn't know that were going on at the Muppets. Well, there's Elmo. Elmo, that's ready to go, right?
Let's try to find a
it's
problem
so
in it, though.
nothing. It's so
No,
like nothing.
No,
It's just-
no. I got it. L. It's them trying to make him to be Hispanic or something like that. El Mo, you know? So maybe you have to just make him, and it's something like that, you know?
What about Brent? What if it's just emo and he's just like emo. He's not all like mama.
He's
He's like-
usually red, but they'd make him all black.
He's like crying.
they
his
make him
head is
black and
down.
his hair's
He's
Yeah, his
emo
head's
and he's
down.
just like he's kind of like listening to what's an emo band? Dashboard Confessional. Is that an emo band?
I don't know emo bands. Isn't My Chemical Romance supposed to be some sort of emo band or something?
That's so. Yeah, I guess you're right. Jimmy Eat World. You know, in my day, emo bands were good.
Well, the thing
They,
is,
they were. It was Braid. It was Captain Jazz. You know, those were good bands. And then they started
but-
to get
but when emo went mainstream, you know, that was in the sort of early 2000s, right?
yeah.
Early to mid 2000s.
Taking Back Sunday.
Right.
They all had like sentences. Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, right.
Jimmy Eat World. Fallout Boy.
What about Blood on the Dance Floor? Was that one?
Saves the Day. Blood on the Dance Floor. Did they open it for Panic at the Disco?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making that up or what. Or I definitely have heard that before, but
Oh, I know who you're talking about. They are wild. Some of those
Really?
videos from Blood on the Dance Floor.
oh, really?
The group.
Okay. So look. But no, so Elmo, maybe it's not L. It's not L anymore. It's just it's gender neutral. So it's just Mo.
What do you think Mo is short for? Moses? So he's just
Well,
Moses.
it could be short from Motown, in which case maybe that's too specific or something like that. And so maybe
Elmo is short for El Motown.
but so maybe he's just Mo, or he's not Mo. He's just maybe Mo is short for more, you know, like Mo Money. So maybe his name is just More. That'd be kind of funny if all the Muppets were all the same. It was all like a brownish color that was sort of a mix of all the colors, you know, and they were all the same personality. They don't.
You know, we should do more bits like this where we like go through the news and then, because another thing that happened in the news was this Lady Gaga. Well, I guess Cookie Monster isn't really a news bit, but
That's headlining news. What are you talking about?
I think it was based on something else I heard about the Dr. Seuss thing. Anyway, Lady Gaga's dog walker got shot and then the dogs were stolen. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
So Lady Gaga's dog walker, somebody rolled up on this dog walker. I think it was a man. I saw the video. You could hear a voice. You can hear a screaming person. The dog walker didn't back down on these dog thieves, and they ended up shooting this person like a few times, and the person lived, the dog walker.
Oh.
And a couple thoughts on that. The dogs were returned, and it's almost like, who would need these dogs so bad that they're
Only needed him for a short period.
gonna
of time.
shoot? Yeah, like it made me think that maybe Katy Perry is behind this, and it's some kind of like Nancy Kerrigan kind of situation, where like Gaga was about to drop some single, right? And Perry knew it was better. Perry knew that her single was better, or that Gaga's single was better. So she's like, I gotta distract Gaga so she doesn't finish this song. She's been in the studio and she's about to lay down the final vocal. I gotta like disrupt it so my track can come out first. I gotta steal those dogs. And it went awry. It was like in The Sopranos where we were just supposed to rough him up and then it got out of hand and I shot the guy. So that's my theory. This is just a theory, folks. I don't have any evidence about it.
There is something to that. The fact that the dogs were returned, okay, that's interesting, odd. And the fact that the person they obviously weren't trying to kill the person, and right, because they lived.
I think they got shot in the chest like 3 times or something.
Oh, got shot in the chest?
Something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they were trying to kill them.
Let me look it up real quick.
That's not good. Well,
I mean, it's terrifying, and it's not something to joke about, but we will.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, my other thought is this dog walker. I guess his name is Ryan Fisher. And the dogs are beautiful looking dogs, of course. So you know how rappers, when they get shot, like there's even a scene speaking of Sopranos, there's a scene in The Sopranos where they have, I think it was it wasn't Big Pussy, it was the other guy. Anyway,
what? Big Pussy?
Yeah, that's a character.
Oh, really?
It was
they stole that. They stole that from me.
They stole that from you. Yeah, you had that joke in like 1991, and then that was just a guy's nickname. No, there was a rapper.
They're
at the hospital, right? And there was a rapper, like Tony was there, and this rapper was there, and the rapper was all shot up, and they're like, "You got shot. Your record sales are going through the roof now." And then there was like his pal was like trying to make it as a rapper. And then he was like, if I got shot, that'll help my record sales. So he gets one of the Sopranos guys to shoot him. He's like, I don't want to see it coming. You just got to sneak up on me and shoot me one day to make his street cred go up. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this dog walker, he can have a new career as a rapper because he's got the street cred. He's got the shots. Right.
Uh-huh.
And he could have a perfect rap name too. You know what it would be? Little Dog Walker.
I thought you were going to say that.
Little Dog Walker. Like WAKKA, like Waka Flocka. But it's like Little Dog Walker.
I thought you were going to say that.
You thought I was going to say that?
Yeah, Little Dog Walker or something like that about the dogs, like little,
Little Dog Walker.
Usually dog is a sort of rapper name,
Yeah, I mean, of course you thought I was going to say that. That's why my observation is that it's all there, maybe right. My other theory now, maybe the dog walker wanted a rap career and he did that thing that the guy did in The Sopranos where he hires a hit guy to shoot him. And then it went awry. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that could be, it could be, it's interesting that the dogs were returned. That's the most interesting thing. Who's that desperate to, hold somebody up by gunpoint and then be willing to return the dogs afterwards? That just seems.
Are you looking up the story or something?
No, I'm trying to look up something to get locked and loaded for when I share some stuff with you, but I'm trying to find it. But I'm listening also.
What exactly led to the attack is not clear. Yeah, so I don't.
What else is in the news?
What else we should look up the news. Here's another thing I was thinking about recently. I was hanging out with some guys, and has this ever happened to you? But you know, you already have a low badass voice, but like these guys, I will just say that we're sitting around a campfire, and it seemed like some of them were like trying to make their voice like lower, like you know, when you try to like sound more cool, like
Right.
you start to sound like more masculine or something,
Right,
and then you
right,
go,
right.
you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like mostly I'm like this, but if I was to act like what I observed, I would be like, yeah. So
So
I wish I could like go real low, but you know. So yeah, I was. Oh, I got one of the. I know that. I know that guy. Yeah. Yeah. I was just testing out a Camaro last week, and it feels like I think that might be a thing that men do around each other to try to like the subtle alpha. What do you call it when you're kind of like you're trying to be like more badass, you're trying to you're trying to like flex or something. You know what I mean? You're trying to like be
yeah,
more
you're trying
trying
to.
to be more manly than you're like who you're talking to.
It's interesting.
It's a slight competitiveness when guys are hanging out. They kind of like mention little things like say I'll try to act like that.
It's a vocal version of the penis.
Well, Brent, and it's also the content of what they say. So Brent, tell me like something you did this week or something. I'll try to act like that.
Well, I had a little more free time this week so far, so I played a couple games.
Oh yeah, I've been having a lot of free time this week too. Yeah, just once I got the car finished and I got the new once I got my new car, yeah, I kind of like had some free time to take it out. You know what I mean? They sneak
Your
in
voice-
little like things that make them sound like, oh yeah, games. Yeah, well, I was writing on this game, and which game was it?
it's it's called Panic Restaurant.
Oh, Panic Restaurant. Yeah. Um, yeah, I heard that one's pretty cool. I've been getting into games too. I'm totally into games.
It doesn't
And,
sound like you're making your voice deeper as much.
well,
as
it's not about the deeper. It's
It's
also
more
about
about
like
acting cool.
it's also
yeah.
about like taking what you say and then like build myself up against it.
Let
Just
me
something
be-
I noticed.
Let me try to be a guy who only tries to make his voice deeper. Okay, ready? Tell me what you did. He's not even trying to be cool or anything. He's just trying to make his voice deeper. Okay, go. Talk about what happened.
What happened?
Or yesterday. What'd you do yesterday?
Oh man, yesterday I woke up. I had some. I think I had some granola and berries around like.
Oh
noon.
yeah. Oh yeah. You had some granola. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Then later in the day, I was doing some editing and working on this commercial. And
Oh, you're working on a commercial now. That's cool.
you sound like such a psycho when you do it. Oh yeah, just working on a commercial. I wish I could go low. I can kind of go low.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, how
Sometimes
low?
on podcasts, I notice that people kind of like they kind of say something and then they end up with their sentence and they kind of like, you know, because some people go up and but then like cool guys, they go down. They're like, yeah, I had some granola. And then after that,
Right.
I had one for a nice long walk. I really got my cardio in. They kind of like end the sentence with a real kind of a down like thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like
right.
a lot of guys kind of end up their sentences like that.
Let me ask you something. Do you think I have a low voice or a deep voice? Do you think I have you think how deep do you think my voice is?
It's you know, you have a great voice. That's all I'll say. You know?
You think I have a deep voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's not.
I think it can be deep.
No,
It can
it's
be
not.
deep.
We're not talking Sam. What's his name? We're not talking. It's beef is what's for dinner. You know, I'm not talking.
What's that?
You know who I'm talking about?
Beef is what's for dinner.
Beef. It's what's for dinner. I gotta look that up. Sorry. Who's that actor? Sam
Hyde. Oh, Sam Elliott.
Listen.
Sam Elliott, I think.
Dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time.
Sam Elliott. I'm pretty sure.
It's what's for dinner.
That's not Sam Elliott, but
Oh, really?
he might have done ads later. This is from '93.
Almost no time at all. Beef. It's what's
Hello, my name is Sam.
Can you do that? Beef is what's.
I can't really hear it.
Can you
though,
go
whatever.
lower than that? Oh shoot, maybe it's not even coming through. I'll crank it up real quick and I'll try to put the mic by it.
beef.
Oh,
It's what's
Beef.
for dinner. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
beef.
You want to hear something I recorded for Duncan Trussell a long time ago? We're talking in the 2000s, and actually Johnny is in it too.
Yeah, of course.
It was let me see if I can find it. This was I think this is in the 2000s, and I was it's easier to make your voice deeper if you're closer to the microphone, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And let me see if I can find it. But he so he wanted me to narrate this thing that he was working on, and I was trying to sound kind of deep voiced for it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. We'll see. I might not be able to find it, but yeah, I don't know if I can find it. I don't know where it is, but anyway, never mind. Sorry for the build up on that. But I got something to share. As far as guys trying to be manly and stuff, that can segue kind of well into something I wanted to show you that I showed on Johnny's Twitch thing. But I feel like you might get a kick out of it though too.
Please show me.
I'll send you the links. Then you could put it up so that because I don't know, maybe it will be better for you.
Why
to
don't
put
you
it up.
screen share it?
I could, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, perhaps I will. Okay, watch this. So, these are this clothing that looked interesting to me, and maybe you'll be interested in this for yourself. In fact, so these are this these are this long underwear that you can get.
Yeah.
And maybe you could be interested in such a thing,
Yeah. Well, go down. Let's see some of those thumbnails to the left there.
Yeah, there's this one. And I guess you're meant to wear it kind of open,
It's a good look with those boots,
Right.
Wait, one more. Let's see one more.
And then, there's quite a few more actually. Then there's this, oh,
Imagine like that photo shoot. You got to get a slight kind of chub going,
why don't you describe this for the audio people?
Okay, it's like a long underwear. What do you call that? I would call that a union suit when I was a kid, but I don't know what is
It's
this?
almost like a prospector kind of long john.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
the long
one-piece-
john with the pants and the top connected, but in the chest it buttons down to very far low to where the
well,
the
buttons
pubic
all the
hair-
way to the
basically
crotch.
down to the pubic hair.
It-
It goes way down.
Actually,
it goes
in
all
fact,
the
there
way.
is-
It goes all the way down.
As you can see in this picture, there is even a button that's buttoned.
Oh,
right
there's
here.
one more button. Yeah, so
And
it
so
goes all
then-
the way down over your crotch. And this is borderline X-rated stuff here, but
But it does show what's, I guess, amusing about it is that it's very revealing. These models are very much revealed in these shots. So that is something that, that's kind of what's making this really worthwhile. So I guess you can just look at the video to see what we're talking about here. But one other quick shot I want to show you real quick.
yeah, it makes you think, what were they thinking when they were
I mean, did they know what they're doing? You know what I mean?
like, why do the guys have like kind of like boners going on in these
They basically look. I mean, is that
like, is that necessary?
Why do they have to show that?
Why do they need to, like, we get the idea. It buttons down to the crotch. This is like
But this is not even. This seems like it's pulled down to kind of.
it's pulled
It's
down
showing.
over.
It's showing that you can kind of use your genitals to sort of. You can pull it down under your genitals. They just wanted to demonstrate that you can do that.
Mhm.
So that's really interesting. And there's one other thing I wanted to share with you that's in the same vein, but I can't. I need a link for it though. I don't know. I'm trying to find it because couldn't find the link. But basically, it's this underwear that form fits around your penis. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, can you imagine that? It you know those shoes that kind of those shoes that are, I guess, I don't know, they fit around your feet and your toes, you know?
Yeah, they're toe shoes, right?
Those toe shoes, it's that but for underwear. Okay? So it basically fits around your balls and penis.
Uh-huh.
But it seems as though you have to be erect for them to work. I mean, I just can't. I wish that I could find the
Unless
I
your
could-
Johnson just, is kind of, and when it's flaccid, it kind of can fit into something like that.
I mean, let me see if I can find it. You're gonna Right. Well, I don't think so though. You'll see. You're gonna see this and you're gonna think, "Whoa, how does that work?"
I'm gonna look at some of these questions in the meantime here.
Oh, here, I found it. Here, check it out. Check this out. Here, hold on. Just take a peek at this real quick. Look
All
at
right,
this.
Let's see what you got. Okay. Now,
I mean, first of
bulge
all,
pouch, underpants, trunks, sexy underwear.
Well, how-
Torridity is the brand. Torridity, Torridity. Fashion shorts, bulge pouch. They're $7. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that price. I'll say
how
that.
would you? How does it? Okay, if you don't. I mean,
Brent, these are just sexy things for guys. Basically, both of these are. Lingerie isn't just for ladies now.
I
It's
think
the
that's
men's.
pretty.
It's like men's version of lingerie. Wouldn't you
Oh,
think?
I guess so, but I mean, that is just really interesting. I mean, imagine that there's just a flap that hangs out in front of your underwear when you're not fitting into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, just something to think about. So let's go to the questions.
These questions aren't so far. They're like not that great, but we'll start from the top. Your future plans? Question mark in life or in entertainment. So
Oh.
that's question number one.
Future plans?
Future plans. I live in for the moment. I don't have any plans for the future.
I mean, the plan for me is I want to buy a dang house, you know? That's what I want to do. That's the plan, is to buy a house and then just relax. I want to buy a house. That's the plan. Buy a house. That's it. I mean, look, I'd like to have a wife and kids, but I think the house is probably going to be.
That's more obtainable for you.
That's more obtainable. Yeah, that seems more exactly. That seems
like more of a reasonable,
realistic.
Realistic, yeah. It's more of a realistic thing for you.
So,
yeah. I mean, I got all kinds of plans, man. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I wonder if I'm going to have some kind of like, when COVID's over, if it's ever over, if I'm going to be like, man, I wish I missed that year when things were simpler, kind of, when there was like less options, and I was just happy to go for a bike ride or a skateboard during the day, and I didn't have any other. I did my podcasts during the week, and the rest of the time I just had to, I had my simple pleasure. I have like simple pleasures now,
Oh yeah, you didn't have simple pleasures in the past?
Well, now, I mean, I did, but now they're like, there's less options of, there's a whole section of things cut out. I don't have to go anywhere. I would feel obligated to do. Sometimes I would feel like I got to keep doing live comedy or, things like that, where that's not even a thing. So it's like, now I don't know. It feels like things are somehow simpler. And maybe many of us, maybe myself, well, right now we're like, I can't wait till the world opens up. But maybe once it opens up, a lot of people might be like, man, I kind of miss those days.
Well,
I miss that. I miss the quarantine. There's something about it I miss.
Mhm.
It's going to be a thing.
I already
I
sort of feel it.
guarantee there's going to be an article. Once everything is back to normal, there's going to be articles about like, kind of like when that movie Avatar came out and people were like sad that they weren't in that world of the Avatar world. They were depressed of like how the world is. I think, as unreasonable as that sounds, there's going to be people that are like, man, I miss the quarantine days because something about it
Well,
simplified their life. They got to stay home. They got to do all their work on Zoom. They didn't have to deal with people in person.
it's a
So
lot
something like
like
that might be a thing.
it's a lot like going when you're sick from school. Remember when you got sick and you had to be away from school for 2 weeks or something? That happened to me at least. That first day going back to school, I did not want to go back to school. You know what I mean? After being home for 2 weeks, I felt so used to just being home and I didn't want to go back to school. And basically once the pandemic is over, it's going to be like we're going to all have to go back to school. And
Right.
some people are not going to want to go back to school. And I get it. I feel it too. I feel that feeling a little bit too. I think to myself, okay, with these vaccines coming out, we're going to all have to go back to school probably by the fall. And part of me sort of, I don't know. There's part of me kind of does not mind just kind of being at home. But I mean, there's things I do want to do. I would like to be able to get a haircut. I would like to be able to go to the dentist, get my teeth
Oh,
cleaned.
well, I go to the dentist. They're all masked up, and
I
obviously
don't
you
feel
got to take your mask off, but
I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I might go to the dentist anyway. But I would like to feel comfortable going to the dentist because when you go to the dentist, you got somebody breathing right over you. It's kind of
yeah, but at this point, most likely they're vaccinated, but like that's besides the point. Yeah. I mean, of course, there's certain things that I do. I wish I could go to a restaurant. I like that. But
yeah.
all the chasing around and all the everything kind of got quieter. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? All of our lives just got quieter. And I think we're ready for it to get loud again. But I think we're all going to many of us might miss the quiet seclusion a little bit. Because the grass is always greener. As soon as that opens up, people are going to be like, man, I miss those days when I just could just be home and just be like, now I got to do all this stuff. I got to go to this birthday party now. Where before you had an excuse not to do things you didn't really want to do. Now I got to go to so many weddings. All the weddings are going to be like, got to go to those now.
Well,
Okay. So
the plan
my
is
future plan in life or entertainment, my life,
to live a COVID lifestyle.
I just want to be COVID friendly for the rest of my life. And
No, but the plan is to just get rich and just,
sit on my coins.
yeah, sit on my throne at home alone, like a, what's his name, like Citizen Kane,
No, I don't want to just get rich out. For me to be rich is to like be happy. That's what when people get rich, that doesn't equate satisfaction.
Well,
I want to achieve. I'd rather make like things that that I want to make.
I
Like
already
a feature,
am happy.
a feature film. I'd rather make a feature film
Yeah,
and
I
be
want to make a movie.
satisfied with that than like just be rich and that's it.
I want to make a movie with you. I want to make a movie that just stars you wearing that underwear I showed earlier.
Yeah, like that's my goal. That's my plan.
If I could make a feature with just that sort of a one-man show, that's you. I'll direct it. You do as I say, and you wear that underwear. That could work.
You know what I do miss though? Touring and traveling. That is
I don't
something that
miss
would be
that.
cool. That would be cool. Like if Office Hours went on tour,
Hmm.
or if maybe if we went back on tour.
I don't. Yeah, look, that
Um,
is that's fun to do it with somebody, but I
yeah.
don't miss being on the road when I was by myself, and it was just such a drag,
No, I
traveling.
don't want to be by myself. I want to like be with my homies.
Hmm. Yeah.
If
Um,
you if y- Where would you both move to if you had to leave LA for some reason and why?
Probably move
Okay.
to Studio City. Or, I'm just kidding. Probably move to. I mean, where would I move? I couldn't imagine. I don't want to live anywhere but Los Angeles. I'm a Los Angeles boy. I used to not feel that way, I guess, but
I mean, sometimes I dream about moving elsewhere, but it's like, nah.
you ain't trying to hear that though.
If I had to, look, if I had to leave the country, I've said it before. I'd move to Sydney, Australia. I've said it before and I say it again. If I had to leave and live somewhere else in the country, it's tough. I mean,
I mean,
New
when
York sounds fun, but I think I would
nah,
rather just go
quieter.
uh somewhere I like Hawaii or something, like Miami, some tropical. I like warm.
You want a tropical
I want to be by
breeze.
the water and I like it to be tropical. So there you go.
I wouldn't be able to. I mean, when I was younger, I thought to myself, oh, yeah, I could see myself living in Berlin. When I visited Berlin when I was younger, I thought, this is cool. I could live here. Or Paris. I thought it could be cool. And I lived in San Francisco for 10 years. I I was down with that for a while, but I wouldn't want to live any of those places anymore. And when I was a
I mean, if I had
teenager,
something to do, not some job that was like 9 to 5, 5 days a week. If I had like the similar situation I have here, if I had to go to Europe, I'd go Barcelona. I've never been to Copenhagen, but
I've been there.
that seems nice.
I've been to Cope.
I go to
I've been to
Cope.
I've been to bars. Name every.
Paris is great. Paris is beautiful and romantic. Let's go to Paris. I go to London.
I
Let's
lived in
go.
England for a year.
Look,
Not London, but
there's many wherever you go, you can make the best out of it.
yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing. I can move anywhere and make the best of it,
Yeah,
but there's not really. Heck, maybe I'd move to Portland. How's that sound?
I could do that too. Let's go. I would do that. Actually, that would be high on the list.
Hmm.
All right. What paths, what career paths would you take if you had to choose to leave the world you're in? What would you what would both of yours normie jobs be?
So music doesn't count, I guess, or whatever. So because that's sort of part of the world, right?
Um,
I'd probably go crunch some numbers or something.
yeah, I could see you just making piles of cash, just
Crunching,
accounting, just
just
crunching numbers.
crunching, dude. I think I would just crunch.
Yeah.
Um,
I would do I
in
would be
fact,
like, I don't know. These are kind of boring. I'm trying to make these funny or something, but
right. Well, I was trying
you
to
know,
think. I thought crunching would be a
yeah,
funny
I
thing.
know yours is pretty good. I don't know.
In fact, when I saw that workout place Crunch, I thought to myself, "Oh, cool! Is that they do numbers there?" And I went in, and it was all just people lifting weights. I thought, "Okay, this is lame. This is not what I signed. It's not what I want. I wanted to do some
uh,
arithmetic here."
I'm thinking I would do something outdoors. I'd be like a park ranger.
See, that's definitely not what I want to do.
See, that's what I would do. I'll go outdoors. I want to work with my hands. I would even be like a carpenter or something like that, swinging a hammer.
You like working with your hands?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you feel satisfied.
Uh-huh.
You
So
know,
you like doing
I'm sick
hard
of
labor?
staring at a computer all day. I
Right.
can barely get through a podcast already.
I'm not an outdoors man.
I know. I'm not saying you are. We
No,
know. We know you're not. So when I say that, you don't have to be like, well, I would never. Like when you say you want to crunch numbers, I'm not like, well, that's not for me.
You should have. You should have though. You should have said, I would never.
I would never do such
I
a
would
thing.
never.
I would never.
I would like to just.
It'd be cool to be like a snorkeling instructor. Oh, you know what? I'd be the suntan lotion boy at a resort.
When I was
All
younger,
inclusive resort in Hawaii. I'm the guy.
you just like rub it on it or the
I'm rubbing
rubber.
it on. Yeah.
Can we get a rubber?
Can we get a rubber? They click their button. We need a
Hey,
rubber.
do you guys have a rubber or do you need one? I can order you a rubber if you need one. I used to romanticize being a truck driver when I was younger. Just being on the road, me and the road. I wouldn't want to do that anymore, but
No, that sounds like pure hell. That's one of the last things. I hate. I like driving my van, going on a leisurely trip, but in general, I don't like driving at all.
yeah, I don't really like. I used to
It just
romanticize
fills
being
me with like bad vibes. People are
I'm-
always driving like dicks.
Yeah, I'm not really into driving anymore myself, but I used to romanticize being a taxi driver,
You know, it'd be cool. Work for ICE.
Yeah,
Bust up some families, send them back where they came from.
that would be a great
Yeah,
normie
protect-
job,
That's a good normie job. Protect our country.
Protect
Yeah.
our rights.
Protect our rights. Yeah. Protect our freedom, Brent.
Protect the foundation.
The foundation and the freedoms that we were born to enjoy. Not for these
Yeah.
freeloaders. All right.
I did actually used to romanticize being a police officer.
I could see you doing that.
I just thought it would be. It's because of watching movies and stuff. I just thought it would be
Like Beverly Hills Cop.
kind of cool. Yeah. Police Academy. I
Uh-huh.
thought it'd be kind of cool to just sort of, go on these adventures and then have a partner and eat donuts and stuff.
Who would your police academy guy be? Tackleberry? If you were one, would you be
He's the-
Gutenberg's character?
He's the military kind of guy. He's the guy who's into guns and stuff, right? I would be probably like Steve Gutenberg, to be honest. I want to be like a Gutenberg type.
Yeah.
Could you see me being a Gutenberg type? Actually, no. No, the guy I wanted to be in Police Academy. I don't know why I didn't think of this immediately, but when I was younger, when those movies came out and stuff, the guy I wanted to be was Michael Winslow. He was the coolest.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely the coolest.
He was the coolest guy. We're doing all those sound effects. I thought I want to be a sound effect guy.
I would
That's
be
why I wanted
him
to-
or I would be Bobcat.
Well, Bobcat was a little too wild for my taste. I would never. But
I would never be Bobcat.
but no, Michael Winslow was so cool with the sound effects. I thought that guy is cool. I thought he could act like a robot and stuff. He could, he doesn't need a gun. He could just make gun noises.
Yeah, he scares the bad guys with like helicopter,
Yeah.
and then they we surrender.
So that guy would be cool for me. That's who I would be if I could be on the police. That's why I would want to join the police or be a police officer, so that I could do sound effects.
Yeah, I got
And
some. I could be like a woodworker.
I could see you.
I could see you could. Can you see me like in a shop making like sofas and stuff, kind of like handcrafted, like custom stuff?
Yeah, I could see you doing that easily. But what I was going to say was, if you were in police academy, I could see you being that that blonde lady, the one with the short hair, with the big bust. Yeah.
I'd rather be Hooks.
Hooks is Gutenberg's.
Isn't Hooks the other woman?
Oh, yeah. She has a really squeaky voice.
Let me see. Hooks. Yeah, Laverne Hooks.
Yeah, the high squeaky voice.
Does she?
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't she?
Let's listen to a
She
little
sounded
bit.
like
of it.
Minnie Mouse or something like that.
I'd be Hightower.
Hightower, he's a big boy. Yeah.
I'm listening to Hooks.
Thanks, Ronnie. Saved my life. Maybe someday you'll save mine.
You know what, Brent? That'd be the ultimate. I'm Hightower. You're Gutenberg, and we're partners.
Now that is definitely I want to make a movie. I want to be in a movie that is a cop movie. That is a buddy cop movie. That sounds so fun to me.
You know what my plan for the future would be? I should be cast. People should be casting me in their shows, in their movies. Give me a shot. Calling all filmmakers
Hey, I would love to.
and casting agents. Brent and I'm in SAG, okay?
What's the opposite of I would never? I would always.
I would always.
I would always.
That would be cool. If I could just be an actor.
Let's just do that. We don't have to deal with the editing or any of that. How about
That's
this?
the easiest gig.
I got one for the filmmakers.
Easiest gig. You
How about
show
me
up,
and Doug
you just
in a
wait.
movie together?
You sit around, you say your one dumb line a few times.
How about me and
you
Doug?
just collect those residual checks for years to come?
How about me and Doug in a movie together? Let's get it going. Filmmakers.
Let's just make our own movie. Let's make that movie we were talking about.
Let's make an easy movie, okay? It's about two neighbors, okay? And they just get into some kind of funny stuff together, It's that easy. We'll call it Neighbors.
Neighbors 2, because there's already a Neighbors, right?
No,
isn't there a Seth Rogen movie? Neighbors?
some kind of Zac Efron type thing, some kind of Zac Efron type joint. But
yeah, some
here's
kind
the
of joint
thing.
like that.
But here's the thing: there's a lot of movies with the same title, so we can just call it Neighbors. You know what I mean? There's two movies called Blown Away. There's one with Jeff Bridges, but there's also another one with the two Coreys and Nicole Eggert. And
Well,
Corey
we don't
Haim and
want
Nicole Eggert getting
when
it
people
on.
are looking us up, we don't want to be second fiddle on the Netflix menu. We want to be.
Okay, we'll call it.
We should be called More Neighbors.
Well, who's directing?
The Coen brothers, probably.
Okay, we'll call it Coen Brothers. It'll be known as the Coen Brothers Neighbors. And if the Coen Brothers directed it, that's going to be top. That's going to get more. People are going to be looking that up more than
The
they are.
Coen brothers present More Neighbors featuring Brent and Doug.
Or it could just be called. I like the idea of just sort of doing a new look. I have a movie idea that I've had for 20 years, and I wrote the script for it too. It's called Hook.
I think you might have mentioned this before.
Yeah. But anyway, I would just call it
Look,
Brent Weinbach's
Brent,
Hook.
we've gone over an hour. Maybe we should
Okay,
wrap it up here.
Let's wrap it. Let's go after dark.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. If you want to keep listening, Brent and I are going to keep chatting, and you can get instant access to that by subscribing to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Poundcast. Of course, get you in the door. And
If you want to get a foot in,
if you want to get a foot in the door, we'd like to thank our interns, El Bircho, that's Jack Birch, Jackie Montana, and Chloe Bonilla. And we also like to thank our amazing sponsor, LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off. Ugh.
and suck on that jerky.
Sucking on a jerky dog. Outside of tasty free. All right, so we'll see you next week, everybody. Peace.
Doug and Brent are talking to some pinballs. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. Doug and Brent are talking to some pinballs. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends.
Tuck
Get none.